Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today I want to talk about stock levels for Star Wars Legion and how it's a bit of a problem, for me personally right now, but I think for the game as a whole, and I really wish FFG and Asmodee would perhaps maybe do a little bit of a better job here. Now I do appreciate that these things are monstrosity in size and logistics, etc. It's not as simple as like, just make more. But it is actually a bit of a problem. I'm sure some of you will definitely agree with me, especially if you're late getting into the game with maybe one of the old factions. You might really struggle at the moment to get a decent sized army of the stuff that you want. If though at the end of this video you like this video, granted I realise the subject's maybe not one where you're going to be like, yeah, I really like having low stock levels, but if you like me talking about it, then please do like the video. And if you're not subscribed and interested in Star Wars Legion, I really would appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. It really does help. So let's just illustrate the point. I am predominantly an Imperial player, the Galactic Empire. Now I had a bit of a hobby break. I didn't really paint or do anything hobby wise for about 5 months, right? Still followed Star Wars Legion, I still got the odd game in, but didn't really do too much. And now I'm more into it. We did battle reports. I want to do more battle reports, and I want to get into some more Empire lists and possibly pick another faction, which I might be doing a stream of later, so or before this. It depends when I release this. So to illustrate the point, like let's say I want to collect the Galactic Empire, and I do appreciate that I am cutting off some of this, but it's just I just wanted to show you all. So let's have a look at for the Galactic Empire what is in stock. Now this is Element Games. Now you might think it's just Element Games, this other shop has got such and such in stock. In the UK they are all following the same kind of pattern. You might find one unit has maybe the ATST, one shop has the ATST where one doesn't, but it's mainly the same. And Element Games are a fantastic shop, my local biggest shop, so I've got an affiliate link and all that kind of stuff for them, so obviously I'm going to use these and I'm not going to slag them off. This is standard. So they have in stock the Darth Vader expansion. Generally what happens is the stuff that has just come out is often in stock for a little while until they sell out. But then you've got the Heavy Team Blaster, maybe not that popular of a unit. The Royal Guard, there's one left. There's not very many left. And then everything else for the Empire is essentially out of stock. Yeah, as I said, if there's another shot that's got Vias, fair enough. But I'm personally, and I never bought them at the time, just because as I said I was on my little hobby break, I never bought the Shore Troopers. I was just on a wait and see. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to paint up more core. It's not that interesting to me, so I didn't buy them at the time. I know they're sold out pretty much everywhere, at least in the UK, right? Which on its own, not a problem. When you factor in that almost everything else is sold out, obviously with the exception of the stuff that is a pre-order, yeah, there's nothing. I'm not going to list everything here that's not in stock, but you can quite clearly see there's nothing in stock. Now, they do give dates of like the 5th of March because there are reprints and you get restocks and stuff like that, but I've been told that essentially the restocks, not just Element Games, but across the board, there's not that many. Like when they do get them, they don't get them for long. So I'm finding this a little bit of a problem. Now, I do admit here that the Rebels do fare quite a bit better. There's quite a bit more there in stock. But even so, there's still quite stuff. Leia's out of stock again. There was a big problem really at the start when the game came out because Leia was very good and wasn't in stock anywhere. She went out of stock and then she came back and she's back out of stock, it seems. Han, obviously classic. You got Han and Leia, two like really core characters. People can't buy them. And Pathfinders, Commanders, Rebel Troopers, very much a staple. Although I guess you got the Rebel Veterans, but they're also out of stock. So you know what I mean. Obviously the pre-orders, but Tauntauns definitely out of stock. Makes sense. I was going to say the busted, they're not actually busted, but you know what I mean. People love them. And obviously this isn't the case for the Clone Wars factions, in a sense. Well, I guess Phase 1 Troopers, they're out of stock. Should they be at this point, considering there's not much else to buy? But yeah, like everything else, these sort of make sense. You can't. Commander Rex is out of stock. Let's see if Dooku and everybody's in stock. Yeah, so Dooku apparently out of stock. Stock levels are a problem, and whether or not you think it's just Element Games, Jay, fair enough. But I don't know what it's like in the US, but definitely in the UK, I feel like the stock levels are low and slow. And it's not ideal. Obviously, it's not ideal for people who want to buy that stuff. Now, I do appreciate you can't just make, as a company, you can't come in and make like 500,000 will have, every shop will have 20 of them. That's unrealistic. You don't want to overproduce because that's money left on the shelf, basically, isn't it? Like, if you make it and nobody's buying it, well, granted the stores have bought it, but the stores aren't then going to buy stuff that's not selling. Even if FFG have sold them to the store, that's only a short-term plan. It needs to be the actual stores that are selling them. So, yeah, at the minute, yeah, the stores are selling the products. Why wouldn't they buy more? They will. FFG aren't producing them quickly enough, in my opinion. Now, I've spoken about how I personally think that the Marvel Crisis Protocol game is impacting this, and I think, but obviously from an outside point, you might be like, Jay, that doesn't make any sense. However, Marvel Crisis Protocol is owned by Atomic Mass Games. They're owned by Asmodee. FFG are owned by Asmodee. These are doing miniature models that are essentially the same kind of size, maybe a little bit different, and they're using the new plastics with the new sprues. They're essentially probably very likely using the same machines, the same injection molding. I don't really know the technology, I'm not going to talk too much of it. They're likely using the same machines, and it, to me, feels at least there's been delays more recently than ever before in the last like 5 months. There's always been delays, but in the last like 5 to 6 months we've had maybe a lot more delays, and it feels I'm giving some blame to the Marvel Crisis Protocol game. I'm not saying that is a mistake. However, I would say that the Marvel Crisis Protocol game doesn't seem to be as popular as Star Wars Legion. So if you are, but you know, I don't get to see the stats, the figures, the finances behind that. But yeah, I feel like that there's definitely, or at least likely, some impact there. Now, this is going to be a little bit exacerbated, made worse by the fact of the coronavirus, or COVID-19, whatever it is. And I know that's affecting everybody's, affecting is not a pun there, by the way. I know that's impacting a lot of people's business, even at my work, like computer parts are infrequent now, so repairs and stuff like that are all a little bit slower. Yeah, it's all, you know, it's a little bit interesting, and that's going to make things worse. I can't imagine, you know, factories are closing in China, which is probably where FFG are making most of their stuff because it's cheaper. So, yeah, I feel like things are going to get worse before they get better, at least. And there's no magic solution to this, because you can't just make more in the hope that you will sell them. You are generally, as a business, making stuff that you think you will sell. So, meh. But it feels like Star Wars Legion's at a good time right now. People are happy about it. The extra factions have really made a bit of a difference. We've got Worlds on the agenda. I think today or tomorrow, this weekend or next weekend, whenever it is, there's the Europeans. You know, it feels like to me that more people are up on Legion. There's more of a community at least building. Numbers are growing. It feels a good time to be a player of Legion. Unless you actually want to buy the stuff and you can't buy it. So this is sort of like the bad side to it. You can't actually buy what you want. And that's a problem. I said, there's no easy pill. You can't just make a shed ton. You can't just make 10,000 of them and presume they're all going to sell. No business will do that. So I'm not saying that this is an easy problem, but I am saying it's a bit of a sad problem. And I need me some Shore Troopers in my life. I want to get some battle reports, but I can't add the variety to the battle reports if I don't have the miniatures to even add the variety. So that's essentially the trigger for this video. So do I have a solution? No. Is it a problem? Yes. And yeah, I'm sure FFG are aware of it. Essentially, if people are trying to buy your product and it's out of stock, you're losing money. It's money that you're not making. But the same is true. If you make product and nobody buys it, you're losing money. So I understand it's not as simple as it sounds, but when you just look at something like, you know, the FFG, the Element Games stock for like the Empire, it's depressing in a sense. It's like, I want to buy stuff, but I can't buy it. I want to buy, but I cannot buy. And yeah, that's no good. If anybody has any Shore Troopers in the UK and they're like, they'll sell them, I will buy them. I will buy them because I want them. But yeah, it's not a great problem. The camera's a bit laggy today. I do apologise for that. Other than that, though, have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on these. Are there things that you want to buy that you can't buy? Am I the idiot for not just buying them when they came out? You should be like, Jay, when you saw it, you should have just bought it then. but I don't like. I got a little bit fed up with just buying every new thing for every faction, so I took a bit of a break. Unfortunately, it hurt me because I really want Shore Troopers, not because they're busted, just had a bit of variety. I'm a bit sick of Stormtroopers DLTing, and I don't know, it's either that or buy the Stormtrooper upgrades. But then I'm in the same boat and I'm not sure I can buy them either. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Very interested. Have a most beautiful day. Goodbye.